I always had somebody there to talk to or be there for. And yeah, just the toughest thing is to hire a stranger that you really don't know a lot about, that you have to trust with your life. They have to help you out, and there's a lot of bad people out there, a lot of bad caregivers that steal, that lie, and you have to go through that whole process. Oh, I've had multiple bad experiences with caregivers who have stolen money, that have stolen checks, that have stolen stuff, and people that have come late, or the ones that live with you maybe leave for a few hours and don't even know, and then you're calling them, and it's pretty crazy.
Do you want to know the comment that I heard the most after I was hurt? You're so lucky your husband stayed with you. I was like, wow, I am chopped meat. I've lost my value as a human being. Is that even possible? That those vows he said on that day when we blew out our own candles and put one together aren't real? I mean, that's what he said. He would love me through all of it. Of course, I believed he did, and he was showing me that he was. But other people in life were always saying how lucky I was that he just stayed with me. And I was like, am I not worthy of being loved? That was always, I still get that. I still get that comment more than any other comment. Like, you're so lucky your husband stayed with you. And I don't even, I suppose, I don't know how to take that.
Oh, man. A lot of able bodies just make me so angry. They don't get it, and they don't care to try to get it. It's like, things that baffle me is, don't compare your broken toe to my broken neck and say, oh, I once wasn't able to walk. I had crutches before. That is, what, like, it blows my mind. Just because you see us hurting, don't think that you need to sit there and feel like you need to relate to us. You know, if you see me in a chair, don't think you need to relate to me. We can relate on something else. Don't bring up your broken toe. I get that so much. And I feel like I just want to tell able bodies just because you're looking down at us doesn't mean that we're any less.
I feel like some people just feel like I should be moping around or something, or not, I don't know, being depressed with my situation. One time I went to a party and some girl was like, why would you go to a party in a wheelchair? And I'm like, why wouldn't you go to a party in a wheelchair? Am I supposed to sit at home and cry in my bed? What do you mean? So I definitely think people don't understand it in that way, where I definitely still love my life and I still enjoy every day, maybe more now. Whereas some people think that they would just sit at home and sulk and just be depressed, but no.
As far as workplace and work environment and stuff, that whether people, see it or not, or want to accept it or not, there's definitely discrimination, and there's definitely lack of opportunities for people in wheelchairs. I'm in the film industry, and the only gainful employment that I've gotten consistently is from other people with disabilities. And, I can produce and write and, create as well as my peers, but people kind of get freaked out by the chair. And when I show up on set, I never tell people that I'm in a chair. And then I just kind of show up on set, and there's kind of this scramble, oh crap, what are we gonna do? We don't have an accessible porta potty. There's steps to the trailer. There's, I'm like, again, that's kind of where I adapt. That's where I'm like, well, it's cool. I don't need to get in the trailer. It's fine.
I tried the online dating, and I did it two ways. I kind of did a little test run, I guess you would call it. I posted a picture of myself with no wheelchair. So, just I didn't say much about myself. I just kind of very general. So I wanted to see if I would get any responses, and I did. It's like, oh, let's go out. But I never really replied. I just kind of wanted to see. So I did another profile with some half shots, and I added, I believe, like 2 wheelchair pictures. Well, the requests weren't as many as they were without the wheelchair, which I knew was going to happen. But it was hurtful. It was it was a little intimidating, and I was a little shocked, actually, because I'm like, but I put myself in their situation, and I think that it wasn't so much the wheelchair. I think it's just they don't know much. And I think that knowing, or maybe they don't know anyone who is in a wheelchair, that can make it okay or not be so strange or so abnormal to date someone in a wheelchair. So I try to see in both perspectives, both views, from the dating, from male perspective and the female perspective. But it was hard. It's hard. Even now, it's hard because not only are you a single mom, but you're also a single mom in a wheelchair.
I think people try. My grandpa was in town, and he's like, oh, he's had a lot of back surgeries. And so he's like, oh, yeah, my legs are numb. He's like, I know what you're going through. My legs are numb. And I'm like, okay, like, I know you're trying to understand, but at the same point, it's just totally different. And it's like, people can try as much as they want, but until you're really in this situation, you just don't know.
I was back here in San Diego, and I was doing a lot of hardcore therapy here, Project Walk, Awakenings, and I met another guy, and he said, and he's in a wheelchair, and he said, I can't believe you're still trying to walk after 10 years. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm trying to walk after 10 years. What's wrong with me? It's like I couldn't imagine a life that I wouldn't be walking in. I can't explain it any other way. And if you're going to take that away from me, that was the only thing beside my family that I was living for, was that day when I would get up. I had pictured the party of me standing there, dancing with Bill, taking a walk with him on the beach, all the things I love to do with him. And, I thought about that when I got home, and I thought, gosh, am I taking everyone on this journey that's just going to lead everyone, my husband down a rabbit hole of, the finances dwindling because I'm still pursuing this. I had his parents really against it. Maybe you shouldn't put that in, but people were really against it, saying to me, like, you're putting resources toward that. It's sort of a waste of time. The doctors really weren't saying that.
Be fearless, man. I mean, just ask somebody. Offer your help. I put myself in those shoes. Like, how can I just know more? How can I help if you need help? If somebody's very, self-possessed and want to be independent, they are going to let you know that they can do it all themselves. But hold the door, like, be empathetic, be courteous, be patient. I don't know. I try to not make it awkward for somebody that doesn't have a spinal cord injury. I allow someone to ask questions. But I say be inquisitive, Don't be scared. Nothing's wrong with them. They're all here. They're just rolling around a little differently. They're using a little different, mode of transportation. So don't be scared. Choose love, not fear.
I think just don't look at anybody differently. To be honest, I view someone who's handicapped the same way that I view as someone who believes in a different religion. I still love them. It doesn't matter. It's just a label. That's the way that I see it, actually. It's just a label that's put on by society and the history of our world, right? Like, what if we didn't have What if we weren't called disabled? What if we were just called people? That'd be sick. That'd be cool. You know, we're all people, so who cares? Pardon my French, but f*** the labels. We don't need them.